Hello guys, I am Jasmeet and welcome to Blogging Unplugged. Now in this video we are going to discuss what's new in Elementor 3.9. Now this update is for the free version of the Elementor website builder plugin and it includes quite a few new features and improvements to the existing features. Now as far as the new features are concerned, you will find three new features basically. Those are save as default. The next is the lazy loading experiment for background images, and the third one is the CSS transform for the Flexbox container. Now I have touched on all of these new features and improvements in this video, so this video is fairly a long one and timestamps to every topic covered are in the description box below, along with the links to Elementor if you want to buy and our socials if you want to follow. So make sure to check it out. Okay, so with that said, let me start sharing the screen, and in the meantime you make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. Hello guys and welcome to the screen capture of this video. As you can see, we have two tabs open in the browser. The first one is the Elementor 3.9, which is this one, and the second one is the Elementor 3.8, which is this one. Now we will be using these for comparison purposes whenever required. Now keeping this in mind, the first topic that we are going to discuss is an addition of a new feature in Elementor 3.9, which is lazy load for background images. Now to see this feature, what I am going to do is I'm going to head over to Elementor, then I'm going to click settings, because this feature is an experiment right now. After this I'm going to click experiments right over here, and under ongoing experiments we will find lazy load background images right over here. Now this experiment comes disabled by default. You can see it is inactive or disabled by default, and its status is alpha as of now. Now, before we activate this experiment, there are a few things that you will have to keep in mind. The first thing is, once you will activate this experiment, it will automatically lazy load all background images except the first one. You can see right over here, it lets you know that, right? Except the first one on the page, rest every background image will be lazy loaded automatically. Now the next thing that you will have to know here is that unlike the lazy load feature that you get on several media widgets, you do not get the ability to basically activate or deactivate this feature based on widgets or elements. Okay, so once you will activate this experiment, it will automatically lazy load all background images except the first one on your page, and you will not have the control over where to activate and where to deactivate it. So keep this in mind. Okay, now with that in mind, to activate this experiment, what you will have to do is simply click this drop down right over here, click active right over here, and click save changes. And that's it. You can see it is active now. The icon turns green, it says active right over here, and this lazy load for background images feature is now active on your site. Now after the lazy loading for background images, the next topic that we are going to discuss is an introduction of a new feature known as save as default in Elementor 3.9. Now this feature also has been introduced as an experiment, and to see this, what we are going to do is we are going to head over to settings, and then I'm going to click experiments right over here, and under the ongoing experiments you will see save as default. Now this feature comes active by default. You can see this is active. You can see in the drop down it says default, it is active, green icon, and its status is beta. Now to know more about this feature, what I am going to do is I'm going to take you to a post that I've created right over here, and I'm going to edit it as Elementor. So let me just close this and open this. Now if you have been using Elementor, then you must be familiar with the fact that every widget that you add comes with its own set of default settings and styles. So to show you this, what I'm going to do is add this button widget right over here, and you can see it comes with the default text that says click here. You can change it from here. Comes with a background color which is black. It has fetched it from the template that I am using. Now for example, this is the default state of this button, but you do not want every button on your website to be black. It has to have a background of background color of red, and it has to have the text as by now. Now this is for every button on your site that you want. So basically you want to alter its default state. You want, like, whenever I will add this button, it should have the text as buy now and the background color as red. So to do that, what you can do is you can go here, type in buy now, go right over here, select this color right over here and select it, and now you can save it as default. Now what this save as default will do is you can go back, add this button, and you can see the default state has now changed to background color red, and the text has been changed to buy now. Okay, now a realistic example of using save as default to improve the workflow is in the image box widget basically. So let me add that image box widget for you. Now think about a scenario where multiple people are working on a website, right? They are using image box widget or any of the widgets time and again, and you want them to know what exactly is the dimension of the image that they should add. So what you can do is you can change this placeholder image right over here, and it can contain the dimensions of that image. Right, that way anytime somebody will add the image box widget will be immediately reminded, right, this is the dimensions of the image that I'll have to add here or create here or create to add here, right? The next thing is this headings right over here. So you can change the text as well using this save as default feature. So for example, you want this heading to be like maybe let's just say 60 characters you want in this heading. So what you can do is you can just type in here, this heading needs to be 60 characters long. Okay, now anybody who will be editing this heading will exactly know the heading has to be 60 characters long. Now in case of this description right over here, you can say this description has to be 200 characters, let's say 200 characters, right? Now anybody editing this description would know that okay, there is a character limit on description which has to be 200 characters. Now what you can do is again save this as default, close this, add it again, and as you can see, it will now the image right now is the same image because I haven't uploaded the changed the placeholder basically. Okay, but the heading clearly states what its purpose is, not what its purpose is, what exactly is the limit on the heading. The description says the length of the description or the limit of the description says right over here 200 characters, 60 characters long, and everything. Right now the person who is editing will exactly know what to do, improving the workflow basically, right? This now you do not have to communicate over and over, and there will be basically people will exactly know what they have to do, right? Just by these sort of small things. So you can incorporate this feature in your workflow if possible. You can give it a try, let me know how it goes for you. So this is a very basic example of save as default, where you can use this feature to basically alter the default state of a widget. Now it is important to know Elementor has suggested not to save any critical information in using this feature, which is the PayPal links, the PayPal email addresses, or any of the APIs. Kindly do not save sensitive information basically using this feature, because that can be a sort of a security threat, right? So keep this in mind when using this feature, and this is the save as default feature for you. Again, it comes enabled by default. This experiment comes enabled by default, and you can use it on your website. So let me know how it goes for you, and in case you have any questions regarding this, feel free to comment down below. Now moving on from save as default, the next improvement that we are going to discuss is the introduction of fallback background colors for videos in sections background, right? Now to show you this feature, although it may sound a little bit confusing, but to show you this feature, what I am going to do is I'm going to head over to Elementor 3.8 right over here, and this intersection widget right over here. open the navigator, right? And then select section. Now you can upload a background video basically by clicking right over here, right? You can click right here and you can see there is an option to basically add a background fallback image. Now this image at times works as a placeholder and at times it will show when the video fails to fails to load, right? So this is why there is this fallback feature available, right? But you can see right over here there are no options basically to select a fallback background or background in general for videos, right? You can see background color, I mean, right? There is no option to select a background color for images, right? There is no option. Now let's head over to Elementor 3.9, click this, open the navigator, select this section right over here, head over to styles, videos, and you can see same background fallback image, and now you have a color as well. Now it lets you select from the global colors that you have set, or you can choose from a custom color like this, right? This color will be used as a placeholder and will be used as a fallback background color in case the video fails to load in the background. So this is the basically the new feature or the improvement that has been introduced for videos in backgrounds in sections. Now after the fallback background color for videos in sections, the next topic that we are going to discuss is the improvements to the page and post settings. Now there is only one change that you will see, and that is the addition of the margin controls. And to see this change, what we are going to do is we are going to head over to Elementor 3.8 first. Okay, let's head over to Elementor 3.8 first, and you can see I have changed both the background colors to black to show you this change, right? Now let's head over to pages and post settings. You can click right over here and then click settings, styles right over here, and you can see I have uploaded this body style, and you can see the padding is right over here, but margin controls are missing, right? You can see right over here padding, margin controls are missing. Now let's head over to Elementor 3.9, click the pages and post settings, go to styles, and you can see the margin is right over here. You can see margin, and you can see margin is missing. Of course these have been rearranged as well, but margins is the main option that is missing. Here you can see only padding, and here you can see padding and margin. Now using this margin you can do this. You can see you can add margins to your page or post. Simple. So this is the new feature that has been introduced, or the new margin controls that have been added to pages and post settings in Elementor 3.9. Now moving on from the margin controls and pages and post settings, the next topic that we are going to discuss is the introduction of CSS transform in the container widget. Now for that, what I have done is I have activated the Flexbox container experiment in both Elementor 3.9, which you can see right over here. Flexbox container is now active, and in Elementor 3.8 and Flexbox container is active here as well. You can see the container widget is right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop it here, and the container widget is active in Elementor 3.8, and I'm going to drag and drop it here. Now to see this CSS transform, what I am going to do is I'm going to head over to the advanced tab. You can see right over here the widget is selected. Let me just go to navigator. You can see the container is selected, and I am going to go to advanced right over here, and here let's just close this, and you can see there is no option for transform, right? There is no option for transform. Now this option has been added in Elementor 3.9. So let's open the navigator, selected the container, right? You can see, go to the advanced tab and head over to transform, and you can see right over here all of the transform features are here. The rotate, offset, scale, skew, flip horizontal, and flip vertical. You can make changes as per your requirement for both the normal state and the hover state. It is up to you. So this is a small change that has been, not a small change, but yeah, according to what they have been doing in previous updates, this is a minor change that they have introduced in Elementor 3.9 for the Flexbox container. and this is the CSS transform feature. You can find it again under the advanced tab when you will select the container widget, right? Now after the CSS transform in Flexbox containers, the next topic that we are going to discuss is the addition of responsive controls in, you know, multiple widgets across multiple elements, right? Now to show you this, what I am going to do is I'm going to add widgets one by one in both Elementor 3.9 and 3.8, and then we are going to compare and see where it was missing in 3.8 and where it has been added in Elementor 3.9. So for this, the first widget that it has been added to is the button widget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button right over here and add a button right over here. So this is Elementor 3.8, and let's head over to settings, and you can see the border radius right over here. It is missing the responsive controls, right? You can see there are no responsive controls, and button we have selected right over here, and responsive controls have been added, you can see, right? You can see border radius and you can see missing, right? So this is the first widget. Now the next set of widgets to which the responsive controls have been added are the image carousel and the basic gallery widget. In this, the responsive controls have been added to the caption alignment. Now you will have to keep here in mind is that in certain areas you will have to, in some of these widgets you will have to enable the captions in order to see this option. Now first things first, let's head over to Elementor 3.8, which is right over here. Select this. We have selected this image widget right over here. You can see the caption is set to none. Now until unless you will not change it to custom caption or attachment caption, you will not see this caption tab right over here. Okay, now let's just open this tab, and you can see the alignment does not have the the responsive controls, right? So you can see right over here. Now similarly, let's head over to image widget in Elementor 3.9, and you can see the caption is set to none. Again, I will change it to attachment caption, and let's head over to styles, caption, and you can see the responsive controls in the alignment. You can see missing, and you can see present. Similarly, let's select the image carousel, and you can see this is the widget, and you can see I have set captions to caption. In case it was none, you will not see captions option in here, right? You can see the tab is missing, but when I will select it to caption, it will show you, right? Now let's head over to style, go to captions tab right over here, and you can see the alignment option is missing the responsive controls, right? Again, let's head over to captions right over here. See, captions is set to captions. Let's head over to styles, captions, and you can see responsive controls, right? Again in alignment. So this is for the image carousel. The next one is the basic gallery. So this is the widget. Let me select this. You can see right over here, and let's head over to styles and caption, and you can see it is set to display show. Alignment option is missing the responsive controls. Similarly, let's head over to here, basic gallery, head over to styles, click captions, and you can see the alignment controls, right? So now you know that alignment controls, now basically alignment for captions now has responsive controls in all of these widgets, which are the image widget, the image carousel widget, and the basic gallery widget in Elementor 3.9. Now the next set of widgets to which the responsive controls have been added are the image carousel once again, the basic gallery once again, and the testimonial widget. Now in these widgets you will find the responsive controls have been added to the image border. Now to see this change, you can see I am already in Elementor 3.8, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select image carousel right over here, head over to styles, and then go to the image tab right over here, and you can see the border radius is missing the responsive controls. Similarly, let's just select image carousel right over here, select images right over here, and you can see the desktop, right? So the responsive controls are right over here. Okay, so the next widget is the basic gallery. This is the basic gallery widget, again styles, and you can see the border radius is missing the responsive controls, right? So similarly, styles, and you can see border radius has the responsive controls. Now the next widget is your testimonial. Let's just click this, head over to styles, go to image, border radius is missing the responsive controls, right? And the next one is, let's just select this, styles, image, and border radius has the responsive controls, right? So this is the next set of widgets that have received, the responsive controls in Elementor 3.9. Now the next set of widgets that we have on our screen are the icon and the social icons widget, and in these the border radius, the icon border radius basically has received the responsive controls. Now to see this, let's head over to responsive controls in Elementor 3.8. Select this select this basically icon widget, and to see border controls or to see border radius, basically for the icon you will have to change it to stacked or framed from default, right? When you will select this, it will give you a shape, and you can select either of these shapes and then head over to styles, and you can see the border radius is right over here, right? And it is missing the responsive controls. That's the thing, right? Similarly, here you will go change it to stacked or framed and select any of these shapes. Go here and you can see the border radius has responsive control. Now the next widget is this one, the social icons, and you can see here the border radius has does not have basically the responsive controls, right? You can see. And similarly, select, head over to styles, and the border radius has responsive controls in the social icons block. So these are basically all of the widgets to which the responsive controls has been added to one or more elements. Now I hope you will find this video helpful and are now familiar with the Elementor 3.9 update. Now if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notification bell. Now in case you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I will try and help. Also the links to our socials along with the article that I have done on Elementor 3.9, and if you want to try Elementor, then link to that is in the description box below as well. Feel free to follow us on other platforms as well and use our link to buy Elementor that supports the channel. And with that said, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.